promise, the coffee stain practically blends in with your lapel.
Oh.
I say, this pocket watch has someone's initials.
Jackass is incoming!
Frown at me!
You want some of this? Boss, did you see that?
This unit is experiencing difficulty processing overwhelmingly prismatic optical stimuli.
Wait for this!
One order of frickin' fan coming up.
Watch this!
Resuming passive mode.
It's you. I had a feeling you'd catch up to me sooner or later, Inspector. I was just hoping you'd find me standing over the administrator's corpse.
What in law's name? Halcyon Helen, how are you still alive?
Oh, is that Ludovico I hear? Perfect. I'm so glad he's still in the building. Would you mind letting him know I'm about to blow his whole operation to flinders? Coming from anyone else, I might have scoffed. But you? I can believe you saw through my charade, Inspector. You're Maverick Johnston's latest star, after all. Johnston may be a tedious hack, but he has an eye for talent. I've heard about you and your ship, Hawthorne. You're one of the few competent people left in this colony. She was much more to me than a body double. Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared this role with my twin sister, Belinda.
Are you serious? Halcyon Helen's got a twin sister? I mean, yeah, it's obvious. You know, if you think about it.
Malfunction. Comprehension.
Belinda and I were the best kept secret in the business. Nobody could tell us apart. And certainly not a peevish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this...
Call me a murderer all you like, Inspector, but I'm no coward. I bloodied my hands to save this colony. I'd do it again. If it means defending Halcyon's future, I'd do it in a heart.
Tell the truth, Ludovico. There's nothing safe about Spectrum Brown. You want to infest this entire colony with those disgusting parasites.
They're not parasites. These creatures are symbiotic life forms. They belong to the highest order of life form, capable of living in perfect harmony with humanity. The symbiotes evoke a feeling of joy in their host, a bliss so pure, so profound as to render the most exquisite Oh, don't you see, Inspector? I want to bring joy back to Halcyon. I want this colony to smile again. Wait, hear me out. I'm not the only one with blood on my hands. But what about Helen? What about all the innocent people she's killed?
No one I crossed off was innocent. Have you met Dr. Blossom? She was practically a reptile. A cold-blooded psychopath who toyed with human lives in the name of scientific advancement. Leora Blossom wasn't a person. She was a weapon in Ludovico's arsenal. You call it murder? I call it disarming my enemy. The mascot was a spy working for Ludovico. He was ordered to keep an eye on Belinda and I, and report back to his master.
You're being paranoid. I barely knew the fellow.
Don't try to deny it. Anywhere Belinda and I went, that mascot was there, just watching us with those cold, dead eyes. That doesn't surprise me at all. He was on Ludovico's side, just like the others. Dr. Leora Blossom, Maria Keene, that flackwit of a mascot, they were standing between me and Ludovico, so I did what I had to do. I went through them. She was on Ludovico's side. When she realized I was alive, she refused to stay silent. I gave Maria a chance. I told her about Belinda. I asked for her help, but she turned me down. She was honor-bound to report me to Ludovico. Maria had a duty to her company, and I had a duty to Belinda. We both did what we had to. But in the end, I was the faster shot. You know what you need to do.
Don't listen to her. Listen to me. Throw in with Helen and you destroy. Think of the future, Inspector.
It's a deal.
Sounds good to me.
We don't have a lot of time. We need...
Not so fast. I've sealed... I'm sorry to do this to you, Inspector. Truly I am. If it's any consolation, Helen has brought some remarkably powerful explosions. Goodbye, Inspector.
Damn it. He sealed us in, but I think I know another way out. Head through that door. There's another way out.
Wow, nice work.
Now it's operations. Oh, surprisingly rude. What did I do to deserve this kind of hostility? Oh, right. All those people I killed. Fine, I'll keep this professional. Meet me at the penthouse suite. See you soon. What floor would you like? Next up.
It's strange. When you walk through that door, I half expected to see Belinda. Belinda and I practically shared a life. Losing her feels like losing a limb. She's conspicuous by her absence. Thank you, but no. I can't grieve properly while Ludovico's still breathing. So let's see if we can't solve that problem first. We shut down Ludovico's distillation plant, but he's not going to sit idly by. If he can't use Spectrum Brown to infect the colony, he'll resort to some kind of backup plan. I stole this formula from Dr. Blossom, a failed prototype of Spectrum Brown. Look at this. The prototype had the opposite effect, and actually made you immune to the parasites. This is Halcyon. Everyone's already miserable. A little more despair isn't gonna make a difference. We're going to need 2 ingredients. A sample of essence of Sprat, and 1 int. Cedric's warehouse in the Perea spaceport almost certainly carries a batch of Sprat essence. As for the pod, I'd check the Wilderness Reserve if I were you. I'm glad one of us is an expert. Most of what I know is based on Dr. Blossom's notes. Sprats have an adaptive immune system. They don't suffer from the diseases and parasites they carry. It's one reason why you'll see them in every corner of the colony. Dr. Blossom experimented with Sprats and accidentally discovered a way to become immune to the parasites. That's probably when she decided to switch to human testing. You're a scientist and an I borrowed a centrifuge from the research lab. I'm glad I could count. Once you're finished, head to the pilot house. Are you worried I'm gonna shoot you in the back? You're right. Here. You take good care of my Needler. There is one other thing. While you're at... I know Cedric. There's nothing he wants more than a chance. Best of luck, and...
Caution! Infestation encroaching!
Can't get away from me! Not gonna let no one bring me down! Oh, that's the last of him!
Entering quiet mode.
Me? I'm pleased.
Invasive contaminants detected. object is soon to be speckless.
Inspector, I'm afraid you may find the spaceport is, at the moment, less... Regardless, you must have some purpose here. Do tell. You accuse me of murder, Inspector. I'm not generous enough to do you a good turn. Won't they also be in danger if I send them with... I'll ask you once, Inspector. Why should Slug help? When you put it like that, I would be heartless to say. You can expect Slug support. I'll arrange for my agents to meet you at the distillation station. I'll do that. I think, as thrilled as I am to assist you in taking down Lou, we have barricaded ourselves. I imagine you have a plan for getting out of the spaceport safely? Are you really? I'll admit, I'm awfully fond of my agents. To see them restored will be... Thank you. Whew, whatever it was, it happened quickly. Like a wave sweeping across the shore. We were overrun. Survivors are still trickling in. We've put out a call to Slug agents not at the docks to keep their distance. With the warehouse's stores, Slug could hold out here for weeks, easily. Possibly months. Coincidentally enough, Slug can supply you with Essence of Sprat. Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman, you remember her? There's a package on the desk in her office. You'll find the... You're quite well. Now then, is there...
Sprats are the #1 spreader of Viles disease, and as such are some of the most reviled creatures in the Halcyon system. Got a Sprat problem? Sam is licensed to kill, literally.
What could
Heads
that
up,
have
boss!
been? I'll show you! I just wanted to make you smile! Hope you've been enjoying your stay.
Hey, I think I know this place.
It really...
Didn't they try to film an episode of Mass Marketeer up here?
I'm thinking of reserving a wilderness safari.
Centrifuge mode activated.
Hey, boss! Watch this! Got him, boss! Still got it!
Did you know that Raptidon claws carry bacteria and have the potential to cause organic death due to massive amounts of blood loss?
Love a good bro!
Sterling is this unit's middle name.
Score one for Felix.
Alert! Dirt alert! Clean cycle set to industrial stain.
You're going down! I'm the best there ever was! We're actually going on an adventure with Halcyon Helen. This might be the apex of my career. That means highest point or peak. Parvati taught me that word. I got my milk.
Warning! Rock stuck in tread. Warning! Twig stuck in tread. Warning! Mangled sprat entrails stuck in tread.
Rad, let's dance!
Limitation and maintenance job fulfilled.
Candy Canyon? Nah, can't be real. Let's take him too!
Clean cycle step 2, industrial stain.
Heads up, jackass! So these hullheads sit around in circles and try to invite profit into their life? I hope they get eaten by rats.
I suppose I can look away this time.
All germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
Done and done.
Make it dirty, Sam cleans it up. One order of frickin' fans coming up.
Everyone all right? My time to shine! Get it off! Get it off! Ah!
Wonder, lying in the dirt is unsanitary.
Drill, fight dirty. Clean up the competition.
Right, let's dance!
Sam, putting trash in its rightful place for more than 70 years. Centrifuge mode activated.
I'm waiting for this! Yeah! Tossball kick!
Object is soon to be speckless. Cleaning cycle complete. Muting?
Wonder what they use this bunker for.
That will leave us there. Sterling is this unit's middle name.
Here I come!
One order of frickin' fan coming up. Toxin neutralized.
Fun!
What?
Open fire!
Something's bumming me out. Well, the best way.
Here they come!
Thought I saw something.
Greeting protocols suspended. Phaeton is standing. Affirmative. Incoming message from...
What have you done? What in law's name have you done? You hijacked our atmosphere. Are you trying to kill us all? I'm not going to let you destroy everything I've built. I can still...
End.
If you lose anything else, it's good to know.
Caution!
I just want to be your friend!
Heads up! Don't you frown at me!
Did I hear something?
I'll show you! Me? I'm pleased as pie. Huh.
Health alert! Disclaimer! SAM units are not equipped to provide. Dirt alert! Dirt alert!
Get it off! Turn that crowd upside
Yes, I know you're hungry. Just a guest. Welcome! You and I are standing in the presence of royalty. Don't worry. I know what you've done. Hijacked Phaeton. Contaminated the air we breathe with your... You think you've saved... And you've angered my...
SAM units are programmed to never disagree.
I got tired of listening to this jackass when he called us on the ship.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to feed you to the Queen, and then... Don't be afraid. Your Highness! Dinner is served. Wait. No, not me. Them! Merciful law! Stop!
Heads up!
Object is soon to be speckless. Force detected. This unit's middle name. Good news, customer. All germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
This machinery cluster is now active. Please exercise caution. This machinery cluster is now active. Please exercise caution.
You made it. I guess happy customers really are repeat customers. This is a golden ticket. Good for...
Heads up!
Centrifuge mode activated.
Can't keep us out. Wow! I can do that. All the wrist.
Hope you've been enjoying your stay.
I must have dreamed up 100 different ways to... I'll be honest, eaten alive by the queen of the brain slugs wasn't... Is that so strange? I imagined this moment would be a little more cathartic. But... Belinda... Hilarious, Captain. You must be very popular with your crew. I can't go back to the way things were. I can't return to my old life because it was never my life to begin with. Never mind, you don't need to listen to this.
We'll be...
Oh, so they were twins, were they? I know how that goes. I'm a twin...
There's only room for one slug boss on Eridanos.
Welcome back, Captain. Or shall I call you Inspector? During your absence, I passed the time by simulating a number of hypothetical... Unfortunately, my understanding of the facts is limited, and my appraisal of the individuals involved is not flattering. Therefore, my conclusions are... I have been awaiting closure for the details of your investigation. However, I have also been keenly aware of your absence. I have a growing library of information about you. Attitude, behavioral tendencies, dietary habits, sleep patterns. Cataloging human behavior is essential to maintaining my simulation protocols. Will you satisfy my curiosity subroutines and tell me who killed... Administrator Ludovico killed Halcyon Helen? I have been programmed to say Mr. Ludovico had the audacity to hire you to solve a murder he committed? I am contemptuous and mildly surprised. This information is valuable to me. I will update my behavior simulation protocol accordingly. Thank you. How can... May luck... I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing... Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure... Oh.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized. Your ship is not permitted to leave until you only after you're smoking.
Captain, I would not recommend this course of action.
All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the I. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a.
Transmission terminated. Biometric. How can I be of? I'll be here.
Yeah, boss?
The captain did right by us once.
Something
Now it's
noise.
ours. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardad.
Area sanitization assessment. The Labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification. Easy peasy.
They say nobody's ever broken out of the labyrinth. Didn't say nothing about breaking in, though.
Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command not received.
Captain's here. Let's go. I want to see all of you busting ass.
Are you new here?
No prisoners!
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. And I see you've brought the kid along. Babysitters may...
Yeah, keep talking, pal. I'll just keep thinking of a place to bury your body.
And... Oh, I had heard you were dragging around a repurposed janitorial mechanical. My staff jokes that it's because you're a walking...
Interactive database updated.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid... I'm not in your way, you dullard. You talk to me. You want to go die in a... Besides... Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man.
Your execution is brought by UTL.
I've got work to do.
What?
I don't see what the fuss is about a blast of tobacco.
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's Special Solvent Stain-Out Remover. It's ruthless on residual blood splatters.
All right, boss. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty. Do you imagine you're leading some... Those barbarians from Monarch are running wild in my prison. I suppose I have you to thank for this indignity. You're nothing but a rabble-rouser. I have no intention of dying on Tartarus, Captain. Not with... I admit I miscalculated the extent of your influence. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloodier place because of you. I take no pleasure in this, you know. Leaving you alive is too great. This prison... And don't worry.
Who's next? Nobody? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why won't you just die?
Get me out of here!
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was... And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh? You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved... You and I are going to have to work hard. I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have... Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago, and the board's just been covering this up?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we must begin the revival process immediately. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better... You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves. We can't save Halcyon on our own. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed. I don't know if we'll survive.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the Iconoclasts spread like wildfire. Zora's focus on logistics made for a safer monarch, where the Iconoclasts enjoyed a surge of new blood looking to join the ranks from struggling townships. Life on Monarch slowly improved from a desperate fight for survival to prosperous growth and more permanent strength. Without Lilia Hagen, Sublight Salvage fell apart. The company fractured, devolving into a series of unregulated criminal gangs, fences, and smugglers. Their facade of legitimacy quickly faded. In time, the Sublight family was forgotten. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. It was said that the first corpse that fed her garden belonged to Reed Thompson. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. Olivia and Minnie Ambrose worked together to cure the marauders Adrena Time had created. Through their partnership as scientist and administrator, they discovered the harmony that had eluded them as mother and daughter. And through years of patience and effort, they discovered the means to wean Halcyon from the scourge of Adrena Time. Their work eventually allowed Wells and his scientists to treat many of Halcyon's marauders. As their addiction waned, the colonists who had lived for so long under the thrall of Adrena Time returned to their communities and loved ones, and joined in the effort to save Halcyon. In spite of everything, the Gorgon asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. With the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life, Byzantine culture and her sister Belinda. In the face of this new reality, she struggled to find a direction for her life. The colony had moved on from Halcyon Helen and would require new heroes in the years to come. And so Ruth Bellamy decided it was time to exit stage left. She quietly disappeared from public view. The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered Slug's transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, Slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds, dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios, and, of course, how to look good doing both. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange. Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Though Minister Clark was eventually released from house arrest, long years of isolation left him a changed man, little suited for bureaucratic work or for the colony that was changing around him. He remained in his estate largely by choice, fading from public view. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.